Hello everyone, welcome to video 2 of SENSEnuts video series. In previous video we discussed about various modules that are available in SENSEnuts platform. In this video we will see how we can connect those modules to a system, a PC or a laptop, and how we can program them and how we do install the drivers of the modules. Alright, before installing the drivers, let us just install the setup which is here. I have copied it on the desktop. So let us just install the setup and then we'll begin installing the drivers of the modules, right? So to install the setup, we double click on this setup and wait for the installation wizard to pop up. Click on next and then decide the destination folder. Let it be SENSEnuts, which is the default, and after that we click on next and the installation begins. So once the installation is complete, the setup will be installing it in SENSEnuts, that is the location that we have decided. When we open, we have these files here, and along with that we have this folder which is 2.0.2, which is the version. We open it, we have the following folders, the directories that we have inside the SENSEnuts home directory. Okay, now app code is the directory where all of our codes, the applications that we develop has to be placed. And we have docs, which contains the documents for reference. Include folder contains all the include files, .h or the header files. Lib folder contains the libraries which are necessary for building the codes for platform. And then we have libraries where we have all the source files, .c files. For example, let us say that you want to work with temperature sensor and light sensor. So the source code of light sensor is here, light sensor.c, and the source code of temperature sensor will be here, which is tmp sensor.c. And we have SENSEnuts MATLAB folder, the directory wherein we have a video which explains as to how we can interface SENSEnuts devices with MATLAB. Then we have this tools folder wherein we have the drivers. So inside drivers we have the drivers which are used to install the drivers for the gateway of SENSEnuts platform. And we have this GUI, SENSEnuts GUI. This GUI is used to program SENSEnuts devices and to display the data that is coming from the network on the GUI. Now let us see how we can install the drivers and connect the SENSEnuts modules with the system. This is the gateway module that we have. We have a USB connector, USB mini connector on the gateway module. We take a USB mini cable and plug the cable in the connector, and using the other side we connect it to the USB port of our system or the laptop. Once we connect the gateway with the laptop or the system, the drivers, they should get installed automatically. In case they don't, we have to install the drivers manually. To do that, we can navigate to the device manager, and here, if the drivers will be installed successfully, you will be having this ports section here wherein you have USB serial port COM14. This number can vary according to the system. You can have a different communication port in your system. Now in case if the drivers won't install successfully, you will have an exclamation sign here along with ft232r. This will be written there. So if you have an exclamation sign and ft232r written besides it, it means that the driver installation failed, and you will get the message as well. So you open the device manager and navigate to the ports or unknown devices. There you see ft232r. We right click on that and click on update driver software. After that we browse for the drivers in the system, and we go to that directory where we saw we have the drivers inside SENSEnuts platform. So inside 2.0.2, then we have tools, drivers, then FTDI drivers. We have to select this FTDI drivers and then click on next. So we have already installed the drivers, that is why we got the message that the best driver software for your device is already installed. In case the drivers wouldn't have been there in your system, it would have installed the drivers. So that is how we install the drivers in the system for SENSENut modules. Now let us see how we can program them, or how we can import the existing projects into Eclipse platform and then compile it and then move the binary file generated after the compilation onto our devices. So to develop applications for SENSENuts platform, we make use of Eclipse IDE. Now if you have already installed Eclipse in your system, that's perfectly fine. When you do install SENSENuts drivers and SENSENuts software toolchain, inside tools the Eclipse platform will also be installed. We can open Eclipse from here. So this is how Eclipse platform looks like. Most of you must be familiar with the platform. Now in order to import the existing projects into the Eclipse IDE, what we do is we navigate to File here at the top, then click on Import. After that we go to, or we expand General section and click on Select Existing Projects into Workspace and click on Next. Now it will ask us the root directory or the folder where our application is located that we want to import into Eclipse IDE. We click on Browse. From here we know that we have installed our toolchain into C drive, so we go to C drive. Inside C drive we have SENSEnuts. Here we have app code. Now let me just import the program or the code which blinks the LED on our radio module. So I will select LED blink here and not the demo one. So I need to select LED blink and click on OK. After that I simply need to click on Finish. Now once we import it, we will have this LED blink inside Project Explorer. Okay, so if I expand LED blink here, we see we have these files here: output, source, makefile. Output is a directory, source is a directory, and makefile is a file. We'll see what it do. Now when we expand source, we have our C code, the source code here, which is actually containing all the lines of the codes that we need to write down in order to get the LED blinking on our devices. We'll see to it in the next video. In this video we'll just see that how we can compile the projects and then how to program our modules according to the bin file or the executable file that is generated after the compilation of the code. Now to compile the project, we need to right click on the project here and after that we click on build project. It will start compiling the project and will generate a bin file inside the output directory here. So it will generate this bin file. Now this bin file has to be pushed onto the microcontroller of our radio. In other words, we have to program or flash our microcontroller with this .bin file. Now, as we have already discussed that in order to program the devices, we need to make use of SENSEnuts GUI. So now we'll open SENSEnuts GUI and we'll see that how we can program the radio module according to the algorithm that we have written. So let us just go to the root folder, which is 2.0.2. Inside that we have tools. Inside tools we have SENSEnuts GUI. We open it and SENSEnuts GUI.jar, that is a file that we need to open. So I'm writing java -jar SENSEnuts GUI.jar. It will open this GUI before me. Now if I get this message here, success SENSEnuts device found, it means that my driver installation was successful. In case I get the message fail or I don't get anything at all, it means something is wrong. So once I connect the gateway with the system, we need to wait for a couple of seconds and see if we get this success message. Now after we have this success message on the GUI, we can connect the gateway module with the radio module. So we have a gateway module here which is connected to the system with the help of the wire, the USB cable, and we have a radio module here. So in order to connect them, I will connect this gateway module on top of the radio module that we have seen in the previous video. So we connect it, and after that I will slide the switch of the radio module to turn it on. So in order to check if everything went fine, we can click on this MAC address. When we click on MAC address, it will display the MAC address of the radio module that we have connected with the system with the help of a gateway module, and it will be displayed in these blocks. So we get the MAC address, it means the communication between the radio module and the system is successful. Now here we have program file which is used to program the devices. I mean, we have to select the program file that we want, that we just have compiled and we have achieved after the compilation of our source code or the project. So I will click on browse, then we navigate to, we may land here, and after that we'll go to C drive, then we navigate to SENSEnuts, then we navigate to 2.0.2 and then app code, then we have demo 1, then we have LED blink. Now if you see, we have output source, so the bin file or the executable bin file is generated inside output folder. Then we select LED blink.bin and click on open. Now to program the radio module according to this bin file, we need to click on download button here. So as soon as I will click on download button, the communication or the code or the executable bin file would be pushed onto the microcontroller. It will be flashed onto the radio module. So if I just click on download, so we see the LED, they start blinking. Now here we have two LEDs, one is red and other one is yellow on the gateway module. Now whenever something will be sent from the radio module or gateway module to the computer, to the system, that time red LED will blink, and whenever our system will send something to the radio module or to the gateway module, the yellow will blink. In this case, both of them are blinking because our radio module is sending something, and your computer is sending the file, and then radio module is actually acknowledging that it has received the data that is being sent by the system. Now after your programming is done, this will stand still and we have the LED here which starts blinking on the radio module. So this is how we install SENSEnuts toolchain, install drivers for the modules, connect the modules with the system and program them according to the algorithm that we have written. In the next video we'll see the code architecture of SENSEnuts platform, we'll see what all functions are needed in the code and how we begin implementing our own algorithms and program the devices according to them. Thank you for watching the video.